I have to do what? Why do I have to get consent for videos?
If you have me in it, you do.
I don't think that's the way the First Amendment works. All right, guys. So this is Bay Vista Park, which is like the southern tip of St. Petersburg, and it's like a nice gathering of people. I feel bad that I'm here. I didn't know what it was going to be. I thought there'd be like signs, and no, it's like people just sitting together, like having a nice conversation for July 4th. So I'm just going to walk up to the group and see what happens. This is one of the most awkward protests I've been to, guys. I woke up early for this shit too. Oh man, anyway, if you want to support our channel, givesango.com/AdamFrancisco. I'm the only man fighting a terminal illness while still fighting for this country, the Constitution, and Donald J. Trump. There's literally like, this is so absurd. There's like 20 people sitting at like a picnic table right now. And I'm just gonna walk up to them in my Trump 20, oh my God. I have no backup, I have no support here. I'm not worried about like anything happening to me, it's just, they look like nice people. All right, guys, pray for me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where's the No Kings protest?
Well, there's no protest.
Just a gathering. I mean, I agree. I don't want a king either. No kings. I agree with you guys. No kings.
Pulling out fingernails.
Don't even react. Please don't film us.
Well, it's a public park, so I wanted to come just capture the moment and see what was going on here.
Cause a riot. It's okay.
I saw there was like a protest. I wanted to, see what was going on. Not a riot. I'm very peaceful.
We're having a cookout.
Awesome. I didn't think that's what it was going to be.
This is a cookout. Yeah.
So it looks like a bunch of nice people. To be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's terrible punishment.
God loves rains, not Trump fascists.
okay,
You made that sign?
I did.
Nice.
I read them all.
Oh, we read the.
You want to get your word out to the people while you're out here today?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a free speech channel. You can say whatever you
For
want.
example, the bill that just passed taking medicines away and food out of the mouth of the poorest people in the nation. President Trump behaving like an autocrat, ruling practically by decree. That's, people talk about make America great again, going away from our constitutional representative democracy is not making America great again. It's deteriorating America. We've been an example for the world in so many ways for so many years, and now the richest nation in the world is punishing its poor people. The Medicaid cuts are unconscionable. Many children will suffer. Many children will suffer. People who need diabetic, supplies are not going to be able to afford it. These draconian measures are, again, autocratic.
Flashing back to being 12.
It's pitiful. It's very sad.
I just wanted to ask you a question. A lot of right-wingers say that the Medicaid cuts are affecting illegals that are extracting Medicaid that obviously are not entitled to it. And secondly,
I'd like to ask you to leave, please.
oh, it's a public park.
I understand, but I'd like to ask you to leave.
No, I'm not going to.
This is a place for
If you wanna
community.
talk
It's not
to
for
me.
Yeah,
questioning
we're having a
privileges.
conversation. No, we're having a nice
We'll talk over
conversation.
here and
Yeah, why don't you
other
guys
people.
go over there and talk?
But you can't tell me to leave. It's a public
I'm
park.
just asking you.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I like being here.
Okay.
I drove here from Tampa. It's a nice park to be at today.
It is a beautiful park, but you're really stressing me out, please.
I apologize if that's the case, but
It is,
that's
it's
something that you
true.
have to work on, not me. I'm a very friendly guy.
Well, you came
If
here
you
with
came
an
and spoke, I
agenda.
came with an agenda to talk to people and get their side while wearing my Trump hat because I support Donald Trump.
Okay.
So I came here transparently. I
I
could have come here in an undercover shirt
I
and I
appreciate.
could have pretended like I was one of you guys.
I appreciate
You know,
that.
now what I find interesting is you have no DEI here. Where's your diversity? I'm the only brown person here, and I'm making you uncomfortable? That's a little strange.
crazy.
I'm just saying, that's a little bizarre. You guys need a DEI initiative for this group. But I'm
Do
going to
you
be in the
think
park.
DEI doesn't cover the elderly too?
I think it covers a lot of groups. But I'm going to be here. If you want to talk to me, you can. You're more than welcome. So I was going to ask you, I was going to tell you that a lot of right-wingers say that the Medicaid cuts are going to affect illegals and people that are not disabled, that have been extracting from the system, taking advantage of it. It's estimated about 12 million people will be taken off Medicaid in the next 10 years. What do you say to that if that's the case? If it is the illegals and it is the truly non-disabled that are being taken off, wouldn't that be a good thing?
Well, let's talk first about, we'll talk about the illegals in a moment. I grew up in this area. I grew up sort of like the Bahama Shores area.
Awesome.
Okay,
it's a beautiful area over here.
I never had any doubts about whether or not we would be able to afford medical expenses, things like that. I wasn't born in Melrose or Fairmount Park or Childs Park. I wasn't born in an area where you often have a single mother raising children, maybe no father present, maybe no poor people. Yeah, let's just put it that way, poor people. Whether Americans want to recognize it or not, sort of middle class or upper middle class Americans or wealthy Americans, we have a lot of poor people. And these are human beings. These are our brothers and sisters. And so since I know that I've never had to be afraid of whether my children or my cousins and brothers and sisters could have the medical care they need, but I know that many people don't grow up in places where there is that kind of financial resource to be able to afford.
Are you talking
it.
about foreign countries?
No, I'm talking about North American poor people.
Okay.
Yeah. I see children that will be suffering from this. Their families already struggle to buy groceries, but the medical part, children that instead of being able to be covered by Medicaid, may be not able to go to facilities where they could get help when they're sick. Poor people who are diabetic and need supplies. What are they going to do?
Well, again, I mean, the Medicaid cuts are not supposed to, right, take away resources
but
from...
these are, I'm talking all about Medicaid. It's not just taking away from the illegal people, the illegal aliens.
Well, it's taken away from illegals and people that are not truly disabled.
Well, they're
that extract and take advantage.
Well, disabled people are still human beings. They're still our brothers and sisters.
Correct, and we should uplift disabled people.
Okay, and even non-disabled people. You simply have sometimes very low socioeconomic people, poor people. Okay, we must.
But if they're not disabled, shouldn't they just go out and get a job and work full time?
Well, it's not always that easy. I was a public school teacher for 35 years in some of the
Thank you for your work.
The low income schools, and it's easy for people like me who grew up with all the advantages to say, oh, well, just lift yourself up by the bootstraps and go earn enough money to get medical care for your family. Not everybody has that reality, and they're still our brothers and sisters.
Let me just tell you something. I'm disabled. I have kidney failure.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And it causes a lot of physical side effects.
Yeah.
Which means I can't work a full-time job right now. I'm on dialysis 5 days a week.
Okay.
And I have a lot of bouts of exhaustion where I just can't function because I'm just too tired.
Sorry.
If I had my health back, what would stop me from working? Nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
No, that's not true.
Nothing. If I had, if I was a healthy individual, nothing is going to stop me.
But it's not. It's not true. Again, 35 years in the school system. I saw families. So
do you think it's just like learned helplessness throughout generations?
Well, generations that have been, after the Civil War, the transition wasn't exactly a smooth one, right? Still have many communities that don't have the same kind of skills that people who are really mainstream, like me or like you or many other people. So these people these people making it to college or being candidates for jobs that pay more than, say, the minimum wage, they're not often able to secure employment like that. So it really just comes down to, these are, especially regarding the children of those people, they're innocent creatures that are going to suffer because of the Medicaid cuts. Literally, children will be suffering.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, it will happen.
Well, I hope it does. I hope it doesn't.
There's no doubt it will happen,
I hope it
and it
doesn't.
will happen soon.
I do want to see the illegals kicked off of Medicaid, and I do want to see the healthy people kicked off Medicaid.
Okay, there's another issue though about when you're talking about immigrants and foreign people.
No, not immigrants and foreigners, illegals.
Okay, all right, you're talking about illegals.
Yeah,
All
I'm an
right.
immigrant. I was born in
Okay.
Mexico.
Okay, all right, good. Well, I just want to say that, yeah, many people like you did not come here illegally. Okay,
Correct. Yeah,
And
I got here illegally.
some of those people, well, look at what happened with the Venezuelans. That we brought in people because of the Maduro administration, horrible misery, violence, people, bandits, people being held up if they were on the wrong side of the politics down there. And then our leaders round these people up and send them, I think, they send some to Costa Rica, they send some to another northern place with nothing, treating these people like objects. And those are our brothers and sisters too. And you as a Latin American ought to know very well that that's another example. You can't go to Mexico City and go out there where you got the children that are begging and stuff and selling stuff. What do you wave a magic wand and make that a different reality?
Well, my view is that I believe it's the responsibility of the governments to take care of their people from Mexico, so they need to uplift their people. And if the parents do want to come to the U.S., to do it legally, so that their kids are not at risk of.
Well, but that wasn't my point.
That's my view, though.
My
That's my
point
view.
was poor people,
Yeah.
and therefore poor
I've
children.
seen it. I've been to
poor
Cambodia. I've
children-
been to Vietnam.
Okay, poor people, poor children are still children, and they're still people.
I agree with you on that.
And they cannot be abandoned when it comes to their health care. They just cannot be. And so the wealthiest nation in the world is turning its back on its very poorest people.
So what if we had a rule where any minor is allowed to receive health care for free in this country? Would that be
Really never even contemplated a law like that.
Would that be something that you'd be down with?
I can't answer. I have to think about it. I don't know what.
Because off the top of my head, I'll be honest with you, I'm a big Trump supporter, but the one thing that I've always supported was universal health care, and that's where I break away from my party a little bit. But I'd be down with that, you know, any child who needs, because I think we got to protect the innocent.
Then you and I agree on that.
Exactly, yeah. See, these people, the woman who just came up to me saying I made her uncomfortable, she doesn't know what I stand for. She knows nothing about me. She sees the Trump hat and makes all these assumptions about me. And I'm only here to have a nice conversation. Like, you've been a nice gentleman so far this whole time.
Thank you.
And I can tell you have a good heart.
Well, thank you, and
You know?
I appreciate that.
We just prioritize different things, that's all.
Yeah.
I want that border to be controlled, and I want to vet everyone that comes in. That's one of the big reasons why I voted for Trump, you know? Obviously for you, that's not a major issue.
Here's another thought about Latin Americans in the United States. You know, I was born in 1954. I'm 71 years old. Okay, when I was a little boy and the United States was riding a crest, really, of just incredible growth and success post-World War II. You know, we had administrations, including Democratic administrations, that I loved and supported. But whether they were Democratic or Republican, they were in bed with people like Somoza, Nicaragua. I
don't even know that name.
Oh yeah, well, you read about it. Okay, Dole Pineapple and other people.
I know Dole. I've heard of Dole.
Bringing up many thousands of people from Latin America to do the hard, grueling work.
Yep.
Okay. Now, you know, those people went various channels. It was a very different time there. Many of them married, had their children, grandchildren here. Okay. One of the cruel things that's happening right now is that there are people who have been here for generations, and then there are other Latins who are here legally that are getting picked up by ICE and brutalized and treated like animals. I heard that they're building detention centers down in Alligator Alley. I don't know if it's true.
Alligator
or not.
Alcatraz.
But
It's a detention holding center.
But
in the
you know,
Everglades.
look at the symbolism of that. You know.
Come on, that's a pretty badass symbolism.
What is this? What is this? 1938 Germany? You know, we have.
No,
we
it's
have
not like that, though.
Margin. I think it is. Margin or scapegoat groups. I'm a gay person. How do you think I feel? I mean, I lived through all the years where you had to. I don't know. You had to live your secret as if you were some sort of horrible creature, and then we finally, over years, started being viewed as regular people.
Yeah, I don't think for the most part there's any issue with.
Oh, but there is.
I'm just saying, compared to where you came from, there's.
Yeah. Well, again, do the research on what's been going on in the legislatures, according with the GOP. Also, look at Plan 2025.
Project 2025?
Yeah, and tell me that gay people aren't being oppressed again. Not that we completely got the oppression out of the picture, but yeah, I'm part of another target group, and it's hate.
Don't you think, though, it's kind of, if there is any oppression that's happening today, it's a response to the backlash of the slippery slope? For example, originally the gay community, they just wanted to get married, right? It was just, we want to get married, we want to be treated equally. And now it's devolved into drag queen story hour for kids. It's teacher activists grooming kids in school. It got too far.
Well,
the slippery slope. So this is the backlash, don't you?
I think the things that you're talking about would be pretty minuscule.
But it still represents the
oddities.
LGBTQ community.
Well, there's no community, there's no movement that doesn't have. I mean, your movement, for example, has extremes. Okay?
Yeah, of course.
But so that means that people like me, I worked 35 years in the school system.
And by the way, I don't
retired.
like any extremists on any side.
Well,
so
your MAGA people have a lot of extremes.
Well,
friend.
To me, if you look at what MAGA is, a lot of the policies are not that extreme from a Democrat 20 years ago. Okay, yeah. The people that are extremists, we call them the far right. A lot of the far right, they want no immigration at all. I like immigration.
Well,
I just want to vet the people coming in.
I'll tell you. Well, no, I think it should not be possible for people to come in illegally. I agree 100%.
See, look at that.
My grandparents came from Greece. My grandparents.
Common ground.
Yeah, my grandparents came in through Ellis Island and through Boston. So we can do that. We can accomplish that.
Yeah.
But this has been whipped up into anti-Hispanic hate.
I'll be honest, I'm Mexican. I'm visibly brown.
Yeah.
I have not felt any hate in the country.
Well,
and I live this every day.
And I'll tell you another thing is that I'm originally Greek Orthodox who became an Episcopalian because my daddy was Greek Orthodox and mother was Protestant. And I look at how some of the far right sects of Christianity are behaving.
I'm not religious, by the way.
The hatefulness. And this is not a religion I recognize. I'm a Christian, a lifelong Christian. I don't understand how these people can be so hateful and ascribe to the Gospels of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not a religious guy.
Well, I'm talking to the camera. Let it go on record that that's not what the teachings of Jesus are like. As a matter of fact, as you probably know, the teachings of Jesus that this is the new covenant, and that the first and great commandment is love the Lord thy heart with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophet.
Well, you sound like a Christian man.
Okay, so, yeah, I am. Thank you. So, look at what that is. Love God, love neighbor, love self. That's it. That's the big covenant. That's the new covenant. Okay, and then you have the far religious right groups just being blatantly hateful, including towards gay people like me. Blatantly hateful.
I'm sorry you experienced some of that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
This is.
I'll shake your hand because I'm not. I have no hate for you. I have no ill will. I don't care what you do in the bedroom.
Thank you.
I don't care who you're attracted to.
I mean,
it means nothing to me.
Just being a human being.
Yeah, I don't care. You can love who you love.
Yeah, so,
don't care.
but I'm sure you can understand how that's not how it's playing out right now.
I
It's
hear
going
that.
backwards right now. And
Well, I think it's the backlash to the slippery slope, like I said.
And you know, I don't know how many more years I'll live. I'm 71, so whatever years I live, it's pretty sad to see things go backwards and to become more just hateful again. And I think of my nieces and nephews and my sisters and brothers' grandchildren, and I hate the thought of them being indoctrinated against people who are different. You know, whether they're gays or whether they're people with different color skin. You know, it's just it's not the America that I know and love.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of hope. Again, I have not felt much racism in this country
Well, I'm so
since
happy
Trump
about
came
that.
in.
Yeah, I really am.
I've been embraced by the MAGA community, so I feel pretty happy with the
I have a
country right
question
now.
for you.
Yeah,
This man, Donald Trump,
yeah.
the amount of out and out lying he does is astounding. It is
Well,
absolutely.
I don't view him as a liar.
astounding.
I don't view him as a liar. What I view him as an exaggerator, as a salesman.
Well, I'm
so-
sorry. What's your first name again?
Adam.
Adam. I'm John.
Nice to meet you, John.
Oh, Adam. Thank you.
So,
Likewise.
so I just feel like when you hear
Adam.
Trump, he's very bombastic,
Yeah,
and he's very
Adam.
exaggerating. But I don't think that
We
he
can
is.
take clip after clip after hundreds of clips.
Well, you could do
and
this for
clips.
any politician, to be
Well,
fair.
not to this extreme.
No, to this
no.
extreme.
No, yeah.
The media just doesn't show it as much.
So I would ask you the same thing I would ask
Yeah.
other people that are my family and friends, people who have voted, align themselves with Trump. And what I say to you is, this guy is, in my opinion, scurrilous, a liar. He whips up, antagonism toward scapegoat groups. And I just don't understand how you all can line up behind him. I just don't understand it.
How you doing?
Hi.
Good. I just wanted you to see, since you made such a big deal about DEI, I just wanted you to see that we do have some diversity now.
Oh, I saw the black
It
guy
was
showed up.
Yeah, it was a public invitation, and,
And,
people
and
who
a
were.
gay man.
It's just a joke because a lot of us on the right wing, we see the protests happening around the country, and 99% of the people at these events are typically white boomers. And so the joke is, where is the diversity? Where are the Latinos? Where are the black people? We always heard the Democrats
Do
are the
you
most
really think
diverse
your
coalition.
fucktard is going to listen to a bunch of DEI people? The only way to get through the Republican Party is white males. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's an interesting perspective. Guys, that's funny. She came up to me to tell me that a black guy showed up. She's like, here's our DEI. We have a black guy. It's crazy. We've had a great conversation, though. I think it's been productive. It's been kind.
And yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate
And I'm
you.
going to put it up completely unedited, by the way. So there's going to be no taken out of context.
So my question about principles and truthfulness. Donald Trump, to me, I've observed him real closely all the way back to his first administration, and I remember the comments about women. There was a woman journalist that had offended him somehow in her comments, and he said something about, oh, she's just bleeding out of every orifice, something ugly like that.
And she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. And, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
That
Well,
refers to a woman. In her
you said you're from
menstruation,
Florida?
things like that, yeah.
Okay, I'm
born native St. Petersburg.
I'm from New York.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. I think that there's a stereotype that New Yorkers have dirty mouths. Would you agree that we're a little bit direct, a little bit?
Oh, I know lots of New Yorkers, and they're all different kinds of people.
But you would say there's a New
I
York
would
style.
characterize New Yorkers as, dynamic, direct, fast-moving.
Okay.
But dirty mouths,
Well, we curse a lot.
well, maybe. I mean, but I'm from here, and but no, that doesn't excuse Donald Trump talking
Well, my
about
point is,
women that way.
My point is, as a New Yorker, he has a very crass mouth, and it doesn't bother me because I think it's hilarious.
But what I just talked about is way beyond having a crass mouth.
I guess.
That's denigrating. Oh, come on,
I mean-
Adam. Be genuine. That's denigrating women. That's it. That's insulting to women.
He's also said a
how
lot of
about-
nice things about other women
how
as
about
well.
When he mimicked and he mocked spastic
The disabled
person or
reporter?
something. Yeah,
That's
in
been, just so you know that
in a rally.
yeah, so number one, he does that same hand motion for people he doesn't like. He did it for Hillary Clinton.
When you see the president of the bank, I mentioned the word regulated.
What do you think about ISIS? Oh, ISIS is very tough.
Well, how did you get them? They were sent by Russia. They said, Senator Cruz, what do you think of waterboarding?
The media took an image.
Well,
Same exact
it's-
move.
It's despicable.
Well, he does it to a lot of people. It just so happened that one time, the guy actually had
Adam,
a disability.
That makes it okay.
I mean, he is who he is.
I meant he is who he is. And
I
that
mean,
makes
yeah,
it
I don't
okay.
think he was mocking the disabled reporter.
But again, we were talking about being nice, decent people,
Yeah.
and we both are. So how can you swallow that?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really bother me.
Are you good? You're right.
Oh yeah.
We're having a beautiful conversation. I told you we would. I'm not here to riot.
Okay, cool.
I'm just here to have conversations.
Oh, I'll have a little bite after a while. Thank
This
you.
is my new friend John right here.
There's another one too that I remember in a rally. Well, and I'm telling you this, Adam, only because it's part of how I came to understand.
It's the story.
Who I see.
Hey,
This,
you're telling me the
who
story
I
of-
see
yeah.
how I see this individual.
Yeah,
to
yeah, I
be
get it.
Is there was the story where no, I saw it with my own eyes, where in a big rally. There was a heavy-set African-American guy in one of these rallies, and he was angry about something. He was making noise or something, and I think the camera's going on him, and the general sentiment, it was big MAGA rally, were depicting this guy as sort of disruptive, whatever. And I remember hearing Donald Trump say something to the effect, this is a paraphrase, but something like, yeah, well, you know what, in the old days, you know what we did with people like that. So, yeah, something to the effect of get him outside. Of course, what he means is beat the shit out of him. And and he said, I'll handle the legal cost. Now, before you respond, let me just say that, now that's despicable. You're inciting your people to, if anything needs to happen to this man, maybe it was to call the police.
I mean, I've never heard this quote before, to be honest.
Maybe he needs, you'll see it on the...
But my automatic reaction is I don't think it is necessarily race related.
Well, really, honestly, whether black or white, it doesn't matter. Either race or any race it happened to, but inciting these people to violence and then taking it the next step to I'll pay for the legal costs. Again, I just ask you, as I ask some of my loved ones and friends who vote for Trump, I say, how can you line up behind this man? How about the interview with, and I'm going to use an ugly word here, but when he talks, about women, he talks off camera and says, if you're famous, they'll let you grab their pussy, and thinks this is sort of a badge of honor. Well, I mean, I'm not prudish. I think sex.
Well, let me ask you a question, though.
Healthy sex, but a leader of the country.
He wasn't a leader at the time. He was just a rich billionaire.
He was aspiring leader.
He was a billionaire at the time, just a rich billionaire, playboy, entrepreneur, philanthropist.
Does that excuse that kind
Well,
of
think about. All
disrespectful-
right, I just want to break down what he said.
Okay.
He used the word "let,"
Yeah,
which implies
Yeah.
consensual.
Yeah, but it was
It's
a
crass.
mocking.
It's crass.
Yeah.
But it is locker room talk. He didn't know
They'll
he didn't know
let
that
you.
they were. He didn't know that they were
again,
recording
I'm
him.
just kind of painting a character.
I get it.
you
I
know,
get it.
And it's not.
It didn't make me happy when I heard him say
it's-
that. To be
it's
honest,
not-
it didn't make me happy.
Well, so these are the kind of
But
things.
what do you think that America, regardless of all the things you're saying right now,
Mm-hmm.
they still voted for him in 2016 and then again in 20? Like, what do you make of that?
Yeah.
With all these things you're pointing out.
Well, again, like I talked about 1938 Germany, you have challenges in society, inflation, other things. People sometimes go to reactionary behavior. They, instead of living a life where, where they have some consideration or restraint, they go for the ends justify the means.
Yeah.
And so then you get the kind of behavior like they did, where you get scapegoat groups again. It was the Jews, and it was the Gypsies, and it was this and that and the others, non-Aryan people. Well, so what I'm saying with all that is that I think that what's happened in the United States is that people got disillusioned and went pretty quickly to reactionary behavior and exaggerated nationalistic behavior. I mean, nationalism and patriotism are not the same thing. Patriotism is loving your country and supporting your country and swearing your oath to your country and following through with all that. Nationalistic behavior is holding countries up against each other as, you know, my head is higher than yours.
Yeah, Western chauvinism.
Yeah, right, chauvinism, exactly.
Yeah.
And so this is a dangerous and not an honorable and healthy thing. And so I also feel like back when Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and those people started getting everybody sort of hypnotized on the radios, a lot of the dialogue was about, oh, these elitists this and elitist that. Well, it's almost gotten to the point now, and again, I'm a retired school teacher, 35 years. It's almost gotten to the point now where being highly educated or considering things like on an intellectual level is almost kind of viewed as anti-American or something. I mean, there's a sort of an anti-intellectual, in my opinion, bent, and that's not good for our country. You know, look at what happened in Cuba when Castro came down from the mountains, and he promised his better life and all this stuff. And then, you know the story. It turned out to be just another despot, and he kind of just took the island captive. And always the first people that leave, they call it the brain drain. The first people that have to run.
Well, New York's about to have a brain drain.
Are the academics. Okay.
You know, New York's about to have a brain drain. If that guy Zoran gets in.
I haven't been following him too much. I've heard it's very controversial, but I haven't followed him. But what I'm saying is that this also is not good for our country, in the sense that one of the strengths of our country has been that, well, for one thing, we have had this Constitution unlike any other. Maybe the British Constitution is the closest. Where people are becoming less discerning, people are becoming less dedicated to principles. Well, look at some of our founding fathers. I mean, University of Charlottesville, or University of Virginia in Charlottesville, Thomas Jefferson. These were not anti-intellectual people. These were not people who didn't go deep into principle. And we're informed by, for example, the Enlightenment and Rousseau, and really dedicated to a new time, away from the dark times. And this now we're eroding this. We're eroding these things. Look at how DeSantis has behaved. Dear God.
Hey, John, I appreciate all your words, man. You've been really nice to talk to.
Well, it's nice to talk to you too.
And I wish you a great July 4th.
Thank you.
Let me hold on.
Oh yeah, no, take your time. And I hope our country can heal.
There you go, a little handshake.
Yeah, nice.
Hey, thanks so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks so much for the conversation.
Okay, all right, God bless you.
And let them know I'm not so evil. Tell them I believe in universal health care. Oh, you got the grill going. Hell yeah. Nothing more American than a hot dog. So it is a beautiful day out here. Definitely very foggy out here. Not too much humidity because it's been raining like crazy down here in Florida. But that man was extremely nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that extended conversation. His name is John, really nice guy, and I'm happy that we got to talk for a while. But I'm just gonna go for a walk around this park a little bit, see what else is going on here. And yeah, hope everyone's having a great, safe July 4th.